Well, hello everybody. Uh, it's gonna be a short-ish video today. Let's see, I'm gonna read you off this real quick. As you can see, my character's still standing there naked. The reason for that is just like you've probably seen on the single player. In order to engage a partial wipe, you have to click on partial wipe and then exit the game, and when you every time you exit the game, the server resets for the single player sandbox. So the owner of this server has to go onto their server based website and click partial wipe in order to wipe it, which most people usually do that after the update. But alright, hi there prisoners. Spring is the season of renewal. We hope and we are more than happy to release another patch filled with a variety of quality of life improvements, bug fixes, and others. Without further ado, server settings and admin commands. Starting off strong with a big one, much requested by server owners as they were creating custom events using spawned armed NPCs. They would despawn when there were no players within the relevancy range. With this patch, puppets, armed NPCs, animals now have a despawn lifetime option when being spawned by an admin command. Okay. We're introducing some requested changes for building restrictions. Until now, we only had the use map base building restriction server setting, which would regulate building bases near POIs. However, even with the above setting turned off, you would still receive the dreaded too close to building message. Now we've introduced the new server setting building proximity restriction, which will influence that too close to building restriction, which can be disabled. Will practically allow you to build your bases wherever you want. We've been talking about this for a long time, and I know Torok, for one, he's probably already done a video about this. I'm sure he's happy because this is something he wanted as well. We can build inside of buildings, and when we throw up our locks on the doors, we don't have to worry about them just destroying a wall to get past a frickin' enforced lock. They actually have to pick the damn lock. Woohoo! We receive widespread reports from our PvE servers that some players are destroying other players' vehicles by intentionally crashing into them with their own. This is possible regardless of the fact of whether vehicles were parked or in motion. To counteract this form of griefing, we will temporarily disable all vehicle-to-vehicle damage on PvE servers until we manage to implement a specific server settings for the situation. Thank you. Clothing. There was a bug where a character's legs would disappear when you had boxer briefs, stockings, high heel boots equipped at the same time. Also, we had a bug where shirts equipped over Danny Trejo's vest would not be visible. This is fixed now. We know of stretch marks that can happen when people build too much muscle mass in a short period of time, but this is ridiculous. There was a bug where wearing a sleeveless shirt while having a buff scar would result in skin detaching from the male character and arms slightly detaching from the body of female characters. I had no idea about this one. This is great. That nightmare fuel bug is thankfully also fixed. I'm sorry, that is nightmare fuel, yes. Also, while on the topic of buff character bugs, there was a weird occurrence where the biceps would shrink while wearing the undershirt. Imagine the horror a gym bro would feel when they saw this, rest assured it is no longer present in the game. See, this is why I love these guys. They recently sold from what I was told, they were bought by another company. This is the first survival game this new company has ever owned, and we will see what happens. We found that braking a motorbike battery does not drop lead plates the same way braking car battery does. Now the lead plates will drop, but the quantity is much smaller compared to the car battery. Good. You'd think that those pockets on flannel shirts would hold something, but apparently that wasn't the case. We found that the big-boned male civilian puppet wouldn't ever drop any loot. Is that true? That's obviously not right, so we made sure to fix that. Was I right? That must have been a recent bug. Bad Windows. You already screwed me once. Encounter Manager. Character respawn distances on small airfield POIs in sections A4 and Z0 were significantly increased. We found that puppets could spawn as close as 15 meters from a player, which is obviously not good. Now that distance for POIs has been increased to 150 meters. Oh, that's good, that's good. Base building. It's not much of a shelf if you can't put anything on it. That's why we fixed the bug where you were unable to put chests in the eastern standing storage shelf. That's a new, they got Eastern quality items now that you can build if you get the DLC. That means downloadable content if you didn't know. If you did know, then I'll shut up and keep reading. While on the subject of Eastern elements, there was an issue where both the improvised and metal version of the Eastern chests have allowed you to put more items than its weight capacity. That's now a thing of the past. No one likes shabby furniture, us included. We found that decay rate of wooden double and single seat sofas was faster than other base building elements. The decay rate has now been consistent for all elements, which means they sped everything up instead of slowing that down. Wink, wink. You've heard of elf on a shelf. How about shelf on a shelf? As it turns out, there was a bug that allowed you to stack storage shelves on top of each other, which, left unattended, would create some very unsavory possibilities for certain players. Rest assured, this is fixed. And it shows that the guy stacked... he's at least 50 feet off the frickin' ground, so he stacked several shelves on. While we're still at base building, we fixed the incorrect destruction and particle effects of Spiral Staircase Level 2, aka one of the wooden boards. When you destroyed them, it showed the particles containing metal parts present in the Level 3 staircase. Okay, so... we hope you didn't have standing storage shelves placed next to improvised wardrobes. We found that if you destroyed the wardrobe, it would automatically destroy the storage shelf next to it. Oopsie. Now you can redecorate your base without fear. No one wants to sleep on the top bunk, but this is taking it to a new extreme. We had a bug where whenever a player would want to rest on the top bunk of the eastern bunk bed, it would just place the character on the bottom bunk fixed. On the same topic, the bunk bed is directly beneath the roof. You were unable to rest on the top bunk, also fixed. We found that the engineering experience gain was off when it came to upgrading base building elements to their eastern variant. The numbers are now properly set. Level design. Don't know what the heck happened here, but no, it's fixed now. It's showing a picture of the dam, and it looks like a freaking Picasso. And it's fixed. Also, close to the same location, we fixed an issue where vehicle tires would clip through nearby concrete slabs. Apparently there were exploits I didn't know about. Or maybe I did. Let's find out. Game dev wouldn't be fun if it weren't for exploiters. They found a way to get inside other people's bases by climbing up, read clipping through, a ladder through the base foundation. Not anymore. We've found a very nasty bug where players that waited in their death screen when being killed would render their bodies unlootable. This is something that was heavily abused by some players in PvP and something that cannot be tolerated. This was fixed and will no longer be possible to be abused. Oh, that's crazy. This one's interesting. We found sentry bots were farmed to death, especially the big ones, for the very valuable loot that they dropped. We've also found that cheaters were also very much engaged in this activity, which led us to the conclusion that it was necessary to rebalance the loot sentries drop. Here's a breakdown of what you will be able to loot from them from now on. Black Sentry, C4 keypad, circuit board, BCU lock, 4x 40 by 46 grenade launcher ammo, 2x tear gas, 2x flashbang keycard, Sentry aiming kit, 7.62 by 39 AP, random amount from 60 to 120, laser trigger, 50 cal or minigun sentry weapon. Yellow Sentry, 50 BMG, random amount 5 to 15, C4 circuit board, BCU lock, 2 portable work lights, laser detonator, Sentry aiming kit, Sentry 50 cal rifle, keycard. You can see the clear omission of grenades, as they were one of the main reasons why farming them was a lucrative prospect. You know how items automatically disappear when you climb up a ladder and then reappear when you finish climbing? The items go to what is referred to as a magic pocket. As it turns out, there was an issue where items that were put there would not drop to the ground if the character got killed while doing actions that utilize the magic pocket. Some players use this to hide certain items from getting looted off their bodies. Now these items drop to the floor as it should be. No damn straight. Well, on the topic of the magic pocket, we fixed the bug where the item that was in the magic pocket would not be shown in the UI as it... Okay, see, I noticed that one. Alright, this is one I don't know if I found out about this. Removing batteries from night vision goggles inside of a chest would result in the batteries disappearing. They fixed that. Leaky chests are good for nothing. We found that taking a chest containing clothes into your hands, replacing it on the floor again, would result in the clothes getting wet in the rain despite being in chest. Yeah, I saw that one too. It was also in the cabinets. Check this one out. When grabbing cooked food while squatting, the item does not go to the player's hands as expected. Instead, it appears to remain on top of the grill grid or cooking surface where it was cooked. The item is not shown in the vicinity of UI and can only be picked up directly by looking at it and pressing F. On the other hand, when the same action is performed while standing, the cooked food is correctly placed in the player's hand. Now that is fixed. Remember relogging? It turns out if a crossbow has a bolt loaded and you relog, the loaded bolt disappears from the crossbow, causing ammo loss. The bug occurred regardless of where the crossbow is located, be it in your hands, floor, inventories, vehicle storage, etc. The bug removes the bolt from the crossbow on relog and is not returned to the inventory. This is definitely a more egregious one, and we have fixed it. Here's a weird one. It turns out that relogging and leaving the render range of the backpack and then returning to it would cause the items inside to become invisible. Even though the proper weight of the backpack would be shown, these certainly caused at least several heart attack-like experiences, but it now a thing of the past. Oh, that's good. See, that explains a little bit. That explains a lot, actually. Found that chests decay much faster inside Barba's inventory than in other vehicles. The boat. So they fixed it. Also found that small yet not an insignificant bug where the chest would sound effect would played when a player logs in at the location where the chest was buried. It would be a tedious task to search for chests that way, but we have no intention to help anyone with such workarounds. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. There was an issue where moving items into vehicle inventory is slower than moving them out. We're pleased to say we fixed that. The vehicle inventory manipulation lag has been significantly reduced. On the topic of vehicle manipulation, there was an issue where players were not able to take the chest out of a vehicle in sandbox mode, also fixed. Another weird vehicle bug we caught and fixed caused the chests to decay much faster. Yeah, they already mentioned that one. Fixed the animation bug where the hand on the camera would weirdly transition in the beginning and end the animation for loading bullets into a magazine for the... Okay. There was also an issue where incorrect bullet render would insert bullet loop animation. We found an M1 scope had one unusual black area around the outer edge of the scope. Here's the before and after. Oh, that's interesting. The first picture, it looks like you're looking down like the scope is really long and you're looking down it. You're seeing the dark interior of the scope. The second one clears that up. When you receive a double feed malfunction from the SCAR LL, the iron sight would flash across the screen for a fraction of a second. We also found strange animation glitch when checking ammo on the Tommy gun drum magazine. When you would enter the animation, a smaller mag would appear to enter the okay. There was a bug where you put your knife into the knife sheet would basically render it useless by placing it where it was disabled from interactions as chopping, destroying, cutting. That explains a little bit. There was a small visual bug where you could not see items such as pistols, knives, or arrows inside a player's holsters or quivers. We fixed that. Then there's some quality of life changes. Oh, that's it. Okay. There were some weird occurrence where you could not rest on random furniture. They fixed it. Rear lights of the Leica and Volkswagen are now less opaque. They look nicer now. Found the server logs went crazy when you would leave or end an event, resulting in unnecessary spam logs. We fixed an obscure bug where the starter card would drop onto the ground when respawning after turning on. Yeah. Logging out, then logging back in can result in some unusual occurrences. We found that relogging after being tied up leaves the character permanently tied up. That's funny. We hope we don't encounter ATMs such as these in real life. We found that there was a bug where the money isn't added to the inventory when withdrawn from the banker. It ends up on the floor. Yep, we witnessed that one. We're adding an option to apply DLC cosmetics to existing base building elements. This means that you no longer have to craft new base building elements from scratch if you have DLC. For example, if you already have an improved single-seat sofa for a low cost of a single toolbox, you can now just upgrade that element to the DLC counterpart. Rock on! We also found a small bug where the usage of and weight of soy sauce, vegetable oils, cans, Red Bull energy drink are displayed incorrectly. Once a player jumped on a tent surface, it produced an incorrect plastic sound. We have fixed it to sound more appropriate material. You are unable to use the Might of Face Roller's Face Smasher to open canned foods. It is more capable to handle a puny can of food. Now you can do so. Excuse me. Ooh, sneezy. Alright, that was yesterday's big update. Today there was another update. And apparently there's going to be one next week. Hey there, prisoners. Excuse me again. We're releasing a small emergency hotfix which will fix some of the most egregious issues, such as server crashes and stability issues. We're keeping an eye out for reports and are diligently sifting through them. Another hotfix is arriving next week. We're sorry for the inconvenience these issues might have caused. We'll make sure to fix them ASAP. The Scum Team. Alright, well. Wait. Oh, I destroyed my card. I don't have it. Where's the banker? Banker's over here, isn't it? That's that bigger.
Greetings, valued customer.
Oh. Alright, let's just cancel that card. Yeah, cancel the starter card. Is going to be that. Submit. Alright. No, there's a reason why I did that. Taking hands. Oh yeah, look how shaky this is. I mean, it's loading in a little bit quicker. That's nice, but... There you go. That is the wrong color. That should be black. Whatever. Alright, so... It won't matter once I log... once they finally do the server reset. Something... things like the user settings and all of that, that's going to be fine. We don't really have to worry about that. Most of that stuff is going to log in anyway. Load in anyway. See, I hate the fact that you can't get stuff from there anymore. Well, folks, we're waiting. Look at that. It automatically gave her panties. That's funny. That is absolutely fucking funny. Because she ain't wearing no damn panties. The only thing that came off correct on this was the damn shirt. Well, obviously there's still some bugs to fix on it. Like I said, there's another hot fix coming through. But hey, what's the point of having different colored fucking clothes if it's all gonna come through looking the same? Just wanted to read that to y'all, get y'all set up. Most of that is not going to be implemented until servers are reset manually by the owner. Like probably the base building inside of being able to build chests and stuff inside. We saw that with my earlier adventures back when I was up in the north. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, this is Cyper, the Psychotic Reaper. I hope you enjoyed this short little video segment. And I hope you'll I hope you are looking as forward to the new stuff as I am. Once they get it updated. We'll figure out something for Sunday if we're still waiting on the server. Thank you all. Have a fantastic Friday night. Sorry. I had a bunch of stuff just hit me. Having to do with Lady Raven's passing last month. Today is the 20th. She passed away. In all honesty, the paramedics, they did a fantastic job. They revived her body. But Lady Raven died on the 14th. Her body died on the 17th. I was at work today. And I realized I couldn't remember how long ago we had our memorial service. To each and every one of you out there, if you have lost somebody in your life, I feel and I know your pain. You are not alone. Do not think for a second that you're alone. And if you want to talk, feel free to drop it in the comments. I don't know what my Facebook information is. I don't really get on social media. Other than YouTube. But post in the comments. Since I can delete comments, or you can delete your own comments, we can find a way. If you need somebody to talk to, message me. I will be more than happy to talk to you if you need someone to talk to. just remember, I know everybody, if you're dealing with it, you hear people tell you all the time, be strong, stay strong. You could get past this. It's not about getting past it. I had a friend in Oklahoma, her grandmother passed away 9 months ago, and she still has moments where she wants to call out to her grandmother like she used to. And I do that every single day when I come home from work. And every single day that I get out of class, the first thing I want to do is call Lady Raven. It isn't something that you just get past or get over, not without having people there with you. And I'm not talking about these fair weather friends that say one thing and fail on you. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you all. Thank you for watching my videos. And again, if you need someone to reach out and talk with, leave a message in the comment section and I'll figure out a way to make it happen. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my recounting of the update notes. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a great Friday night. As best as you can have. And it's okay, what I was going to say earlier and got sidetracked. It's okay to not be strong. It's okay to let it out. I'll be driving down the road listening to a song I haven't listened off of a CD. Yes, the Jeep I'm in. I'm using my Kidron's Jeep because my car had transmission issues. So I'm between my vehicles and I'm driving hers at the moment. It has a CD player in it. So I was listening to a CD from back when I was still in high school. So this is somewhere between 2002 2004. I think I was a junior, so let's say 2003? No, sophomore, 2002. And I'm singing along with these songs, and the lyrics are just popping back up into my head. And two of the songs about a couple being together, and I'm driving down the freeway at 70 miles an hour and my eyes just start watering up and I fucking so no, you don't have to stay strong all the time. It's good and it's healthy to let it out. You just have to remember they're not suffering anymore. We're suffering because we miss them, because we now have a gaping hole that they used to fill. But think hard about the person and try to remember all the times that they were talking about how they were hurting, how they were tired, what they've been going through, whatever it is they were going through. They're free of that now. Lady Raven was dialysis for 10 years. End-stage renal disease. Lost her right eye due to insurance company bouncing her back and forth. Oh, we accept this doctor, but we don't accept this hospital. Oh, we don't accept. Then the doctor's like, oh yeah, we don't accept that insurance. She lost her daughter, her husband, her father, her mother, her brother, and her sister-in-law in a 2-year period. When me and her got together, she promised me a year. And I got almost 5 out of her. Before it just became too much. And every time I slip into that and I think about it, I blame myself again and again. But if I had taken her to the hospital that morning like I'd wanted to, and she had still slipped out while she was at the hospital, they had her do not resuscitate order on file, she would have died right there in that hospital bed without her family around her. I probably would have been sleeping in a chair next to her, or I would have run home to take care of the animals, and she could have passed while I was gone. And then I would have been heavily resentful of the animals. And the fur babies don't deserve that. And it wouldn't be their fault. Just like it isn't my fault. It's called Survivor's Guilt, and it's not your fault either if you're listening to this. There are people who have ended other people's lives because the person was suffering. Did the person die because of their direct actions? Yes. But it is their fault? No. Not if they were asked. Or offered and the person agreed. Because not everybody is built the same way. And I know this got really deep really fast for the last frickin' like 18 minutes. And 14 to 20 minutes. And I do apologize for that. But if you're having issues, or you know somebody who just lost somebody, and they say, oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm okay. If that person is your friend, check up on them. Because again, not everybody's built the same way. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of each other. Love each other. Be happy, be rested, be healthy. Thank you all for joining me. I hope to hear from you in the comments section. Good night, everybody, and I will see you next time. This is Cyper, the Psychotic Reaper, and I am signing out.